Next, Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone, very topical issue came on Yenga. That was the bone of contention between Guinea and Sierra Leone. In any case, we cannot afford to fight. We cannot afford to enter into any melee. The conflict is quite over. We appreciate the bilateral tie between Sierra Leone and Guinea. We appreciate the relationship that has to do with tribes, that has to do with religion, that has to do with languages spoken, and sharing common interests, etc., etc., especially during our war. Remember, Sierra Leone actually faced 11 years interregnum. Guinea helped, Nigeria helped, as well as the other West African countries militarily assisted us so much to see the end of that war. So with all those things taken into account, we cannot afford to enter. That is why today I stood on Rules of Procedure 81, moving a motion for the demilitarization of Yenga. It is very important. We don't want to see military presence. For far too long, we used to see armor car, guns, G3 weapons, uniforms. That's alone scary away.
But would you say, Sierra Leone, formally you've made that appeal to your neighboring country as you've given that historical antecedent?
The documents are very clear concerning that particular aspect. Let's go back to history lane. Number one, in 1896, Sierra Leone was declared a protectorate. Far beyond, when you look in Guineans and documentation on history, 1912. So you begin to see 1896, Sierra Leone was declared a protectorate by colonial masters. If you go to Geneva now, the documents are also there. And it's also very clear, war started in 1991 in Sierra Leone, civil war, and ended in 2002. In 2002, the end of the war, the two late presidents, Ahmed Jankaba and Lansana Conde, they signed a communique declaring it. The document is here for evidence sake that that land belonged to Sierra Leone. In 2005, the same thing repeated. Document, official communique, and that land belongs to Sierra Leone. Asked the Guinean delegation a few questions which they could not respond to. Number one, Google the word Yenga. Where is it found? It is found in Sierra Leone, around the streets. Just Google it, you see it. The naturalness of the Makona River made it so clearer. Those days, colonial masters, how did they delimitate boundaries? Number one, it was two hill. Two hill, they can separate countries or neighbors during the scramble and partition for Africa. Number two, it was two rivers. Rivers were also used as natural border to separate countries. Number three, two plain ground. For that particular case in Yenga, it was two rivers, the Makoni River. Two reasons I'll tell you why Guineans don't want to actually get hold on that property called Yenga. Number one, there is a huge deposit of alluvial mining. I'm talking of diamond mining in that particular area. Number two, the military strategicness of the place. At Yenga, you could see Liberia, you could see Guinea, you could see Sierra Leone. Can you imagine? So those two, according to Joan Galton, the father of peace and conflict studies, he did say conflicts, looking at it up or down, hovers on two reasons. Number one, resources. Number two, control, power. That's the main reason. I call ECOWAS to actually ask Guinea to demilitarize that place, and maybe we get a delegation from ECOWAS to step upon that land and they will follow advice. But if they go to Geneva now, they will see all the documents there that it is our property. A few questions that I also asked Guinean delegation. Number one, who used to farm on that land before the war? Before war broke in 1991 in Sierra Leone. Who used to farm on that particular land? Sierra Leoneans. Who used to fish on that particular land? Sierra Leoneans. Who used to collect taxes for the boat, the canoe because in point? Sierra Leoneans. And the Guinean head of delegation got offended because we did say that there are evidences of human rights violations, and it is very clear. I'm not talking of beating people, but three things I will give as evidence. Number one, there is a primary school that used to live in Africa. They broke it. Guinean military people, they broke that primary school, and that was built by Sierra Leone. Number two, the people used to farm in Africa. They stopped them, and they can no longer farm there. Number three, extortion. They used to extort money from anyone to pass on the border point. You should pay money. Those are all human rights violations. We are very clear about she misunderstood us. She thought we were talking of beating people, malangling people, etc., etc. No, that's not the case. But those two reasons were gross human rights violations against the people of Sierra Leone. That is it.
Formal petition to the ECOWAS Commission.
We are, for the fact that 3 weeks ago, His Excellency the President carried some foodstuff with military trucks, as well as some humanitarian intervention. That tells you the two heads of states. Interestingly, one is a military man, current, and the other one is a former military man.